Because he didn't answer his mother's call before jumping off the building, he was personally thrown into the 18th level of hell by the Grim Reaper. However, instead of being judged, he was reborn in the body of a baby. But just as he thought he could use his memories to take the world by storm, reality hit him like a ton of bricks. His mother irritably said, "Can't you be a little quieter?" Seeing his new mother's agitated demeanor, he felt a sense of unease in his heart. Sure enough, as soon as they got home, he was roughly tossed onto the couch. The mother impatiently snapped at her husband to feed the baby. Fortunately, this father seemed like a good person. He discovered that the food was already 4 months past its expiration date, but the mother said it wouldn't kill anyone anyway. The father thought about it and figured she had a point. After all, the baby couldn't taste much anyway. However, one sentence from the father completely devastated the baby. It turned out this whole family was no good. Just as the baby was about to be abused, a police officer suddenly appeared at the door. Seeing this, the father quickly wiped the baby's mouth, and the mother hastily pulled out an air freshener to cover up the smell of smoke that filled the room. The officer said they had received a report of child abuse and had come to investigate. The person next to him was a child protection expert. The couple put on an innocent act and tried their best to argue their case. But the officer said that when they had taken the child for a checkup at the hospital a couple of days ago, the doctor had discovered signs of beating on the child's body, so they had reported it to the police. After explaining the situation, the officer forced his way in. The expert was about to remove the baby's clothes for an examination when suddenly the father took out his credentials, indicating that he worked at a children's welfare institute. How could he possibly abuse his own child? The officer also noticed a sweet family photo of the three of them and thought it was all a misunderstanding. He immediately apologized and prepared to leave. The baby wanted to speak up and cry for help but could only let out a loud wail. Seeing this, the officer couldn't help but praise how healthy the child was and then left with complete peace of mind. However, the baby's cries made the mother completely lose it, and she could only release her anger on the baby. It was simply outrageous. By the time Chui woke up again, he was already standing in front of the gates of hell. He was furious. How could there be parents like that in this world? However, his words seemed ridiculous to the Grim Reaper. Hadn't he been indifferent to life and death when he jumped off the building? Why did he want to live now? He could irresponsibly abandon everything and die, but that baby didn't even have the most basic right to choose. This world is full of people who have no control over their own lives. The Grim Reaper told Chui that he still had 12 chances to be reborn, but the fate of these 12 people was all death. If he could manage to survive in one of them, then he could replace the original owner of the body and continue living. Otherwise, he would have to enter hell and face judgment. He had already wasted his chance as the baby. Suddenly, the Grim Reaper immediately pulled the trigger. When Chui woke up again, he found himself plummeting from a height of 10,000 meters at a rapid speed. What was even worse was that he wasn't wearing a parachute. This was even harder to survive than being the baby before.